Good greetings to the wonderful audience present here today. Before I begin with my talk, I would like to introduce myself. I am Adhil, a student who loves talking to anyone and everyone about anything and absolutely everything. In my free time, I like writing short poems with deep hidden meanings. I am also a student here at our own for the past 10 years and I always wanted to do something like this at school, but I was not always like this. In fact, I was the exact opposite. I used to sit in the corner of a classroom and not talk, unless if required. Only raise my hand to answer questions in class to ensure 100% accuracy while answering them. Well, I have come a long way from there. With that, I would like to begin my talk. Self-exploration, a fall to reality. I have categorized self-exploration into four main stages. So with that being said, fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight, because this is going to be the beginning of an amazing journey through the ever so mesmerizing cosmos. Stage 1, realization. Discovering and exploring oneself is like exploring space. It's infinite. A person may be confined to a human body, but the thoughts and skills that are present within one aren't finite. They go on forever. So they have to be discovered. Like we may discover a planet, but to know what that planet compromises and what the resources are within that planet, we need to travel to it. The same way, once we discover a skill or a thought, we must work on it to perfect it. That is what self-discovery is all about. A person, a spaceship, a planet to which the person travels to and maybe even encounter aliens on the way. But more on that later. Stage 2. Preparation. Going anywhere, we need the appropriate gear for any adventure. Similarly, for this journey through the cosmos, we require three main items. Number 1. A weapon of choice, preferably a lightsaber. This is one of the three main important items to defend yourself from going to the dark side. By defending yourself from negative comments and anything that might bring you down, it plays a huge role by giving you the confidence to fend off anything and everything that is an obstacle in the path. Number 2, a spaceship. Obviously, to travel through the cosmos, a simple car won't do the trick, but a spaceship will do. Ideally, a spaceship that's quite powerful. The spaceship symbolizes the need and the path for which we must take in order to reach our destination. Make sure not to jump through wormholes as they are considered shortcuts and may end up dooming you. So be careful. Number 3, the last item. It's quite obvious what we are missing here. Well, it's the most important thing, and that is you. You now shall use the lightsaber to fend off hatred while flying your trusty spaceship to find yourself. Now on the way, you may encounter aliens and or other extraterrestrial beings, or as I like to call them, creatures of the cosmos. Now they are mainly of two types. There are the friendly ones and the hostile ones. Friendly ones are those people we meet in life who help us to find ourselves. The hostile ones are those people who try to be an obstacle to when we are traveling towards the planet. Kind of like ET here. The friendly aliens want to help us, and even if they leave, they will always continue to help you. Hostile aliens are like that of Thanos. They might show that they're helping you, but in reality they're just using you, as they are selfish, and once they have what they need, they will leave as fast as it takes to snap. Now that we have encountered aliens, we will be moving on to stage 3. One of my personal favorites, and it's called the falling point. Now, in order for someone to discover themselves, they must have a point in which they fall. In my case, I quite literally fell. So here's my story as I remember it. One day I was traveling to India in a plane. Little did I know, my view on life was going to be rerouted. The plane was going to land in about an hour and 33 minutes. And the plane was at an altitude of 37,000 meters. And it suddenly fell for about 10 seconds, in which the altitude dropped to 27,000 meters. Time stood still, everyone was screaming, and my sister was very quiet and napping. My mom was screaming as well. Where was my father? Well, as soon as the plane gained control and started soaring back into the top of the clouds, my father calmly walks out of the laboratory as if nothing had ever happened. Ever since then, I have always wanted to give every opportunity a try because we may not know what happens, and of course, along with this attitude, I also gained the fear of flying on planes. And I was able to apply trigonometry quite easily because in my head, this incident helped me realize that if I fell 10,000 meters in 10 seconds, then the plane fell around for 1,000 meters for every second. Yes, it was very scary. No, not the plane falling, but me doing maths. Now we come to our last stage, stage 4, fueling the spaceship. Trying out for everything doesn't mean you will succeed in every opportunity you take. You just learn from each time you fail. The failures, in fact, act as fuel for your spaceship and take you to your desired planet. Failure is never a bad thing. It never was. It is okay to fail. After all, what good is a spaceship without fuel to make it fly? To prove this statement, I will give an example from my life. Because what good is a statement without an example to prove it? It's like having Netflix but without the monthly subscription. Absolutely useless. So here is the example. At this very school, we had our first inter-house MUN and I went for selections. But sadly, I did not make the cut because my speaking skills weren't that of adequate measures and my position paper wasn't the greatest. After a year, we had the second edition of the Inter-House MUN. I got selected, and being my first ever MUN, I bagged the award for the best position paper. Another example is the TED Club itself. The first TED Club, I didn't make it. Well, a year later, here I am. Therefore, once you have enough fuel for your spaceship, soon you reach your planet and discover the resources present on the planet. Make use of them, and finally, you have done it. You have succeeded. You used your failures to fuel the spaceship, ignored all the hostile aliens who posed as obstacles, and all from one point in time where you fell and realized your worth. Trying and practicing something not only perfects at a skill, but also gives you the confidence to perform it and finally achieve success. So in conclusion, throughout this journey, you saw a planet which symbolizes you. Traveled to it on the spaceship fueled by your failures, met good and bad aliens on the way, ignored the bad ones, took help from the good ones, and finally reached your destination. Explored it and made use of the resources to establish your kingdom and left your mark on that planet. It was a wonderful journey in which you discovered a part of you which you didn't have knowledge about, met amazing people, saw the ever mesmerizing cosmos, and out of all these, the most beautiful entity in the entire universe throughout this amazing journey was you. With that being said, thank you so much.